You gonna do this? Go over the stats, or?
No, I'll give them to you.
All right. Yeah, I got some stats here. Yeah.
Originating from the Department of Communication Arts at Valdosta State College, we're VSC-TV, bringing you a wide variety of sports, arts, and information about your community. Stay tuned for more entertainment on VSC-TV.
Well, Blazer fans, we're about ready for the start of the second half here. We're about a minute away. 30-second shows on the clock before we start the second half. If you're just tuning in, you're watching a game recorded February 13th, and you're watching it on VSC-TV. The Blazers taking on the Pacers of University Tennessee at Martin. My partner, Rick Strickland. Rick, how about some quick halftime stats here?
All right, quickly. The Blazers shot 21 for 36 from the field in the first half. The visitors were 20 for 34. From the free throw line, the Blazers were only a paltry 50%. And we have showing UT Martin not shooting any free throws, which is incorrect. They did shoot make four free throws in the first half.
Who led the Blazers in scoring?
Tommy Conley had 14, Dale Parker had 12. Rebounding, Leon Jones had 5. As for UT Martin, Marcus Glass had 12, and Curly Masheed had 11 points, and Glass was their leading rebounder and the game's leading rebounder with 6 points.
Well, kind of the mystery of the first half is what happened to Leon Jones. Where did he disappear to, and why wasn't he in the lineup for about the last 8 minutes?
Leon must be sick or something. I really don't know why Coach Dominy would take Leon out for such a long period of time. And Leon was still the leading rebounder, even playing only probably 8 minutes in the first half.
Well, the Blazers were up by about 8 or 10 when he was in the lineup, and they were only up by 4 at the end of the half. Now they're only up by 2. But the original starting 5 is in the lineup for the Blazers. You got Dale Parker at center, Willie Walton and Leon Jones at the forward, Tommy Conley at the shooting guard, and Terry Benn at the point guard. Benn with the ball now.
Blazers starting out rather sloppy, throwing away the inbounds pass to open up the second half.
Well, Blazers are only up by 2 if you're just joining us here on VSC-TV. This is a big Gulf South Conference game. The Blazers are up by 2. 48-46, and the All-American Glass gets 2 more there, and we're all tied up at 48 apiece after the Blazers have led almost the entire game. Well, all but the first couple minutes they have been ahead. This is such a big game. Blazers 5th place in the Gulf South Conference. UT Martin Pacers 6th place in the conference. And both teams desperately need to win, and Willie Walton knows it, so he got 2 there. Blazers by 2. 19 minutes to go here in the second half. From way outside for 3 points, and now, well, that was Willie Forbes, and for the first time, well, I'm sorry, I thought that was a 3-pointer. Was it not a 3-pointer?
Definitely
And they just put it on the board. 51-50, and Leon Jones with the left hand to put the Blazers back ahead, 52-51. So very fast start here for the Pacers. Down by 4, they come out, take the lead, and then fall behind by 1.
I don't understand why Tommy Conley is guarding the Pacer point guard, rather.
Well, he makes Tommy pay for it there with a quick 2 points. Pacers by 1. Both of these teams, I feel, know that they have to win tonight. The top 4 teams in the GSE make it to the tournament. The Blazers are currently in 5th. Pacers are in 6th. Dale Parker with 2.
Definitely this is important for both teams. That realistically, either team with another loss is going to be almost out of the playoff picture. They have to win. It's a must-win for both teams.
Well, the Blazers will be playing tomorrow night at Delta State. That's February 20th at Delta State. And then they will be playing Saturday night, the 22nd of February, at UT Martin, the same team they're playing tonight. So they have their work cut out for them. They're going to have a couple of games on the road to end their season up, and they'd like to win their ones at home, definitely, and they'd like to win them at home away. But they're only 3-7 away this year, so they're having their problems on the road while they're 7-1 at home.
They need these home wins, but if they win on the road, that will definitely give them a lot of enthusiasm and emotion going into the tournament.
Well, the ball being bounced around, and the Blazers are going to get possession with 17:55 to go in the ball game. The Blazers up by 2, 55-53. Last year, these two teams played it in overtime, the big OT here at the complex. That could happen again tonight if it keeps going the way it is right now. Pacers and Blazers trading buckets. Don Latson into the lineup as Willie Walton exits, takes a seat, and the Blazers going with a more quick lineup with 3 guards right now.
The Pacers have switched defenses. They're now in a zone.
Tommy Conley would have had an assist, but Dale Parker missed his first shot, but got the second one. 57-53, Blazers up by 4. Don Latson inserted into the lineup, no doubt, to balance off the quickness of Eric Rivers. At least I would think that was the reasoning behind it. Somebody to guard Rivers, 25, the point guard. Nice pass by Ben and Dale Parker, and the foul, surprisingly, on Masheed.
That was a good call. Masheed moved under Parker. Parker had already left the ground when Masheed moved into position. He was set when Parker ran over him, but he has to give Dale Parker room to come down.
Well, Masheed doesn't believe it. He's being badgered some by the crowd. Former Blazer Kirk Dunn always leading the heckling there in the crowd. You can always find Kirk right under the basket, and he's always has something to say. Big Kirk, 6'6" player for the Blazers for a couple of years. And Kirk comes to every ball game as far as I know, so good to see the alumni Blazers out here.
That's good for the alumni to keep in touch with the game and the team.
Well, Blazers by 6, and Masheed. And he draws the foul. Masheed kind of doing the crybaby routine out there. About every play I see him just complaining. And
well, he's definitely upset, but he's thrown up 2 consecutive air balls, and I think I would look for a scapegoat too if I'd thrown up 2 air balls.
Well,
his last 2 shots have failed to find anything but the floor.
Well, perhaps he can find the rim or the net on this one and stay out of the oxygen environment. And he gets nothing but net that time. Masheed is the best free throw shooter in the game. He's shooting 86%.
And he can certainly move up and down the floor. He doesn't have a lot of hair to weight him down up and down the floor, does he, Keith?
No, he certainly doesn't. He kind of taking the swimmer approach there with the haircut. Dale Parker inside with the turnaround and hook, I guess it was. Parker, you never quite believe he's the shooter that he is. I mean, he's a good percentage shooter, even from the free throw line. But to look at him, you wouldn't think he had a soft touch, but he really does. Dale Parker, the 6'9" center from Atlanta. And it's Australian rules rugby, volleyball perhaps?
Not, well, they didn't get down on the floor. They were just having a little tussle down there. But
well, Tommy Conley with the long
good
distance
pass.
I think he sent that one AT&T that time. Long distance pass by Tommy Conley. Terry Ben caught it, but not in time to get a basket. Conley moving that ball around to Leon Jones, quickly to Ben, to Parker for 2 and the basket. And Dale Parker gets excited.
Again, the Blazers are being very patient on offense. That is good to see. They're not forcing their action. They're waiting. They get their open shot, and they've gotten the ball inside to Dale Parker consistently in the second half. And UT Martin does not have anyone that can body up on Dale Parker. Dale Parker's just too big and too imposing.
Well, he may not be getting rebounds and he may not be getting points, but Leon Jones is making a difference just with his presence on the court. He's an all-conference player, all-American candidate, and every time he's been in the lineup, the Blazers have pulled away. They're now up by 9, 64-55, with 16 minutes to go in the ball game. I still don't know what Leon was doing on the bench. Don Latson with a block. And how often does Don Latson block a field goal? Matter of fact, that's his 2nd on the year. And
Conley just nailed that jumper from the corner. That was a good pass by Latson. Latson got block shot, took the ball length to the floor, and dished to Conley.
Well, the UT Pacers head coach, that time, what's his name there, Tom Hancock, says, hey, we've had enough of this, let's settle down. It's 66-55, Blazers by 11. Well, I hate to exaggerate or overstate anything, but Rick, I believe I've seen the gaudiest pair of boots in my life. There's a man on the Pacer bench wearing orange boots, orange and blue boots with a orange suit jacket and orange and blue pants and a orange and blue striped tie. Now, I've heard of the old Pacer spirit, but a bad dresser is still a bad dresser in my book.
I agree. I haven't been fortunate enough to catch a glimpse yet, but I'm still looking forward to that first sight.
Leon Jones with a power rebound. Blazers on the break. Tommy Conley on the bucket. 68-55, and I'm sure that's the way Coach Dominy drew it up there in the little huddle during that timeout.
I'm sure he couldn't have drawn it any better than it worked out.
Well, if you just pulled up in the car after a long day's work, you're tuned to VSC-TV, and you're watching a game recorded February 13th. The Blazers taking on the Pacers of UT Martin in a big Gulf South Conference game to try to edge one of these teams towards the playoffs. Top four make it. Blazers currently in 5th, the Pacers in 6th. The score 68-55. Blazers with a 13-point lead after being down by 1 just minutes ago.
Blazers are looking good thus far in the second half. They're really pushing the ball, really looking to get the ball down the floor.
And Leon Jones making his presence felt out there in ways that are probably not going to show up in the statistics. Pacers trade a bucket, Blazers by 11. Ben, whoosh.
Well, speaking of Leon, just his court presence is something very important to the Blazers. Leon's just a great all-around person, and his being out there is just a spark to the Blazers. He doesn't have to contribute in the statistics.
Well, the All-American Marcus Glass throws one up from 19 feet and it won't go in. Glass has good statistics, but he's really not that dominating of a player, at least that you see from over here. Conley for 3, it won't go, and Masheed pulls down a rebound. And he's not going to get away from Don Latson. Glass with a turnaround jumper, just barely hit the rim. Follow up by about 3 Pacers, and the ball being thrown all around. And then Dale Parker draws the foul, argues with the official. But it's going to go for a foul. I believe that's Dale's second on the night. So far, no Blazers are in foul trouble.
And that is very good. The Blazers cannot afford to have their front line in foul trouble. And I believe Coach Dominy has gotten very irate, upset with the officiating.
Well, Dale Parker, that is his 3rd foul, not his 2nd, as I said. Well, some of the fans doing a little armchair officiating.
Well,
this is always the case in the home crowd.
One of the officials just had a few words for Coach Dominy. I think he may have told him to sit down.
Probably not a quote there, but something close to that.
Something similar. I know who said it, though. Whatever was said, it was the referee.
Well, we won't try to speculate on the unknown,
Let's go, Dad!
as it's hard to hear with these old headsets on. Ben with the jumper, and he doesn't get it to fall. Tommy Conley very nearly draws a foul. Didn't quite do it. Blazers by 13, about 13:55 to go in the ball game. And this is sloppy basketball here. The Pacers just more or less making one pass and shooting. Leon Jones with the left-handed slam. It won't go. There's a foul out on the court. James Sipes draws the foul. Sophomore from Louisville, number 14. And Pacers, I think they're going to have to be a candidate for our hairdo team this year. Sipes, number 14, sporting that shaved look on the side with a bunch of hair on top. Almost a mohawk there.
Definitely. Looks like, I don't remember the guy's name, the guy that played middle linebacker for Oklahoma that won the national championship in football this year. What, Bosworth? With the multi-hairdos, orange hair?
Well, he didn't. I'll tell you what, though, it kind of surprises me that that guy down there with the orange boots doesn't have orange hair. But Leon Jones gets a bucket there. Blazers by 14, 71-57. And VSC looking very determined to stay in that Gulf South Conference race. They were only down by about a half game about 10 days ago. They let it slip away from him on the road. They're only 3-7 on the road, but they're 7-1 here at home in the complex. Their only loss to West Georgia. Jones cans them both, and the Blazers go up by 15. They got 72 points, which is almost their average on the year. So they're having a good night on the offensive end of the court. Glass with a follow-up, and that's going to be a basket interference, Rick?
Definitely. Ball definitely in the cylinder on that tip in.
72-57. Leon Jones going to pass the ball into Tommy Conley or Don Latson.
The official now has a few words for the Coach Hancock.
Well, Terry Ben gets the ball after I forgot to mention him as being a possibility getting that pass in bounds, so he takes it. And Don Latson to Ben, who's in three-point range. Nice lead-in pass to Dale Parker. And good touch. The Blazers kind of taking advantage of the Pacers' weak inside game. And this Marcus Glass may be an All-American, but he's certainly not going to win my Player of the Year contest. As I say that, he slams one in my face as if he heard me.
He definitely put it down with a little authority then. But this smaller UT Martin team allows the Blazers to go to a three-guard offense. They have Tommy Conley, Don Latson, and Terry Ben all in the game at the same time.
Well, we got a foul, and it's probably on Masheed because he's crying and complaining again.
Well,
and it is.
If he's crying and complaining, it's probably because his hair wasn't parked this morning or something along those lines. And something that's been bothering me the whole game, it just come to me. I figured it out. As we're talking about looks. If you'll notice, the referee with the glasses, if you remember former Secretary of the Interior, James Watt, he is the identical twin for James Watt. He was not a very popular fella, and that official is definitely not very popular here at the VSC PE complex. Reckon it could be Jim?
I refuse to make a comment on that, but I'll let the viewers of VSC-TV draw a conclusion for themselves. Next time the official with the glasses is on your monitor, see if you see a resemblance to James Watt. Well, foul's being committed, and that's going to be Dale Parker's fourth. That foul called on the so-called Watt lookalike, or called that by my colleague here. I'm not going on the record with that comment. I try to hold on to my job here.
Well, we said we'd have some surprises for you here in the second half, and I thought he looked like Mr. Watt myself.
Well, Dale Parker comes out of the lineup and goes to the bench. Dale's playing a nice game tonight. Willie Watson enters into the game, number 33. Willie's been out of action for a while. He stayed out about 5 minutes. There's 12:32 to go in the ball game, 74-59, and the Pacers are not pacing themselves very well from the charity stripe tonight. A big miss that time by number 41, Larry Lane. Lane shooting on the year is shooting 50% from the free throw line, and I think you see why there as he lays up those bricks. Don Latson quickly down the court. Nice pass to Leon Jones. Matter of fact, it was such a good pass, Leon wasn't expecting it.
Well, Leon got shoved in the back by about 2 people.
Masheed shoots and cries. And Glass, the All-Gulf South Conference All-American player, misses another shot. And long pass to Tommy Conley. He's going to have to hustle. And he can't quite get a handle on it.
And Masheed's still at the other end of the court crying, Keith. Someone needs to get him a towel and a haircut.
Well, the Pacers back up the court. My colleague Rick Strickland getting into the spirit of the game here. And Terry Ben could not stop number 41 Lane from hitting that basket.
And you can't help but get into the spirit. There's nothing like being out at a Blazer or Lady Blazer basketball game. We're glad to bring it to you here on VSC-TV, but why don't you come get some tickets, come on out, see a game. There's nothing like being here.
Well, to Tommy Conley cans that basket. To see a game again, the Blazers are going to have to make the playoffs in such good position that they have the home court advantage. But hopefully that'll happen, and when it does, and you hear it on the radio or wherever you hear it, please come out and support the Blazers. Support all the Blazer athletic events. Blazers a full baseball schedule coming up all spring, and even some this quarter here too. A bunch of games in March and the end of February. Stop by the athletic office, and somebody in the office here in the complex will be happy to give you a Blazer baseball schedule so you can come out and support your local VSC team. Blazers in baseball went to the World Series last year, and they won a national championship in '79. They're worth taking a look at. And Glass has been throwing up shots all night, but he hadn't made a lot in the second half. He has not impressed me as being of all-American potential. We've seen better players this year, I think.
We've seen Tim Criswell, and he was definitely the best in the conference I've seen personally.
Well, Tommy Conley, and that ball, there was never a doubt about that. Three-point Tommy has 3 3-pointers tonight. So how about 3 3-point Tommy, we'll call him. 79-61, Blazers by 18. They're starting to take this game out of control. And Glass. And I think that's Glass's percentage shot there, the one-handed slammer jammer.
I'll give that one an 8.65.
I'm going the other way on that one, Rick. I'm going with a 7.8 on that one. He was uncontested. Leon Jones. Nice follow-up by Willie Walton. And now throw Glass a towel. He's crying. And the Pacers doing more complaining than they are playing right now.
I think I'll put Masheed and Glass on my first team all-conference cry team.
And here comes Masheed crying some more. I don't know if you can see him on your monitor, but look at him here. Now the coach is crying too. He draws the technical, and it's pandemonium here in the complex. Tom Hancock draws the technical. Watch Masheed.
James Watt threw one on him then.
Well, Masheed is going to go to the bench now. Did he foul out, or did he just cry his way out? We hate to overstate something, and I don't mean to bury a player here, but Masheed has just been complaining and yelling about everything that's happened all night. And I don't see any of the Blazers acting that way. Tommy Conley will shoot the free throw. He gets distracted by a loud buzzer. And what's going on here? Here's your friend there, making the call.
So that's what old politicians do.
No comment, as they say so often. Tommy Conley at the line. And golly, it must be snowing in Valdosta. Tommy misses the free throw. 81-63, 18-point deficit. Look for him to make this one, and he does.
Well, with polar bears spotted around the campus here at VSC, it could possibly be snowing outside.
Well, maybe that's why he missed that free throw. Nonetheless, the Blazers are up by 19, and there's only 10-19 to go in the ball game. So about one quarter left, or 3/4 of this game is gone, either way you look at it. Conley leans in, passes to Willie Walton. Willie back out to Ben, and the Blazers are in no hurry to get shots here. They have a comfortable lead, but you can expect the Pacers to make a run. I don't know if they have the three-point shooters to do it. They get a steal there, though. They're off to the races. Don Latson tries to draw the foul. The Pacers are just shooting very poorly from the field. They get 2 points there, 82-65. Blazer lead cut to 17, and the Pacers are going to get the ball again. The Blazers are doing exactly what they didn't want to.
The Blazers are getting sloppy now. They need to just calm down, gather their senses, and
stop and smell the roses.
Perfectly, just what I was going to say.
I think anybody would have said it.
I do too. I tell you though, I've really been impressed tonight by this three-guard offense the Blazers have used. That's the first time we've seen this look all year that I can recall.
Well, and there's Blazers throw a ball away.
There was a kick by the referee just then. That official, ladies and gentlemen.
Interesting comments from Rick Strickland, your color commentator.
Well, we try and bring you a little insight into everything. The game, the officiating, the crowd.
Well, let's bring you some insight into what's coming up on VSC-TV tomorrow night.
Well, I'd really like to know.
6:30 p.m. The Great Hayhira Pick-In highlights. Be there, watch it, you'll enjoy it. And another turnover for the Blazers. As you were saying.
Oh, I was saying I'm looking forward to the pick-in on VSC-TV.
Well, I'll tell you something I'm looking a little more forward to, and that's Monday night at 6:30, the Miss VSC pageant. That's this year's pageant, recorded January 29th. Hey, right now, Before you can even make a comment about that, there's a timeout in the action. Blazers are up with 9:04 to go, 82-67. Well, Coach Delmany trying to prepare the Blazers for what he figures is probably going to be a full court press by UT Martin.
Definitely, UT Martin has to go to some type of trapping, man-to-man or zone press. I look for them to go to a man-to-man full court defense. Let's see if I become a prophet. I think they will go to full court man-to-man instead of a zone press.
Well, do you think Mike Machid will be back in the lineup for the Pacers?
I'm not sure. I heard a nasty rumor he was gone to the barbershop.
Well, that would be a nasty rumor. Glass puts in a bucket. That doesn't help the Blazers' case any. And there is a foul finally called there on number 12, Willie Forbes. The Blazers are now up. The Pacers have quickly cut that 19-point deficit to just 13, if my math is correct, which it has been a bit shaky at times, as any teachers ever had me in math will testify.
But I will stand by you on that, Keith. It is 82-69. That's 13 points in my book any day.
Well, let's see if Don Latson can make the 1-and-1. And he does. Latson fills the bucket up. Latson is shooting on the year. Well, this is kind of embarrassing. Latson is shooting 29% from the foul line this year. And
he just evidenced as why he's shooting 29% on the second free throw.
Well, Don is such a great defensive player and a good passer and an all-around great hustler, but he's never been a very good shooter here for VSC, although he's made some key buckets at times. Don's strength is definitely not in shooting.
And he's definitely cut from the Spud Webb mold. He has phenomenal leaping ability.
And a lot of quickness.
Very much quickness.
I think it was one of our other announcing friends, Lucky Link Dublin, who once said, Don is so fast he doesn't have a shadow, or something to that effect. I'm never quite sure exactly what Link's saying, but I think he was meaning that he's real quick.
I think so. Lots of times you have trouble deciphering what Link means. Link has so many quaint expressions, and they're really rather insightful.
Link's quite a colorful man. We really enjoy him here on VSC-TV.
Definitely do.
Pacers with the ball. Cannot get a bucket there, but 25 so quick he gets his own rebound. I don't know if that qualifies for the Link Dublin Expression Hall of Fame, but he got it in a hurry there. And Tommy Conley does the old throw off the knee pass. 83-71, Blazers by 12. We got 8:20 to go in the ball game, and you just start to get the feeling that it's going to tighten up here at the end.
And I want to point out, Keith, the UT Martin Pacers have gone to a full court man-to-man defense. Seems like we've heard that somewhere before.
As if by prophecy, Rick Strickland predicted it. And you heard it here. If you're recording this game on your VCR, you can rewind it and he'll still say it. 83-71, Blazers by 12. They got the ball in the offensive end of the court. Your lineup right now for the Blazers. You got Don Latson at the point, Tommy Conley at the wing, and Leon Jones and Willie Walton at the forward positions. And Terry Benn is the third guard in the lineup right now. Conley gets 2 there. That ought to be at least 20 for him tonight.
I think Conley's at least near 25. He had 14 at the half, and he's had a couple of three-pointers here in the second half. And
well, Glass has not been overly impressive to me tonight as far as being an All-American goes, but he certainly has 20 points by this time. But they've been a silent 20. But that's the key to some players' success is they just kind of sneak around and get the kind of production you need. Well, Willie Walton, the crowd wanted a slam, but Willie got pushed a little.
I wanted a slam, too. I want to see something earth-shattering.
Well, the crowd of, only about anywhere between 500 and 700 on hand here. Kind of quiet, even though the Blazers are up by 14. Conley gets fouled about 3 times and does a nice Larry Bird pass there. And a block by Glass. And Glass is just the man that can block a shot. He's got 20 on the year.
Conley's playing a complete game tonight. He's being very aggressive both ends of the floor. He's played a great defensive game. And sometimes it goes unnoticed when your great offensive players or stars. And as I speak, he throws turnover
one
out of bounds.
Yes, as you speak of Tommy's good play tonight, he throws one to the tuba player in the animal band of VSC. I think it's a good time to say thanks to that VSC pep band this year. They've done a great job in trying to keep the crowd in a spirited mood, and they've really shown a lot of support for VSC athletics, and I think everybody appreciates it. Tommy Conley now turns the ball over to number 25, Eric Rivers, and I think he and Don Latson ought to have a shuttle run after this to see who's quicker. Conley with the ball being harassed, and the score is 87-75. The Pacers have cut it to 12, and they feel their season in the balance here. In 6th place in the Gulf South Conference, a loss tonight, and they can pretty much write for tickets to the Gulf South Conference tournament because that'll probably be the only way they'll be there.
And we have a scrum on the floor, as in rugby. There are bodies everywhere.
Well, the much ballyhooed scrum taking place on the floor.
I know nothing about rugby except that when everybody's on the ground, it's a scrum.
Well, back into the lineup. Hold the phone, Rick. Back into the lineup, Mike Masheed, the colorful player for the Pacers. You know, he was heavily recruited by VSC and James Domine.
Well, I can understand why. VSC has, but he's a good player. He's definitely a good player, but VSC has no one that I think can match his level for being flagrant in everything he does and really pouting and crying. But I say these things, I'm glad that Masheed's going back to Tennessee tonight after the game, and he won't be around to see this game air on VSC-TV and hear all these nasty things we said about him.
Well, they haven't been that bad because he certainly has carried on about just about everything that's happened tonight, but he's a competitor. He's out there to win.
He's definitely a competitor, and he's a good ball player. We just try and find things to make it a little more colorful.
Kenneth Shannon with a basket there after Tommy Conley hit 2 free throws for the Blazers on the other end of the court. And Tommy racking up a lot of points tonight, and Coach Domine is calling for a traveling call, and I don't know, it looked to me like he took about 6 steps. You know, he was following one of those Fred Astaire feet on the floor patterns there.
At least there must have been, well, little numbers painted on the floor to teach him how to do the foxtrot or the Charleston.
With the ball in hand.
Yes. And I want to make it perfectly clear right now. Keith and I have no malice against anyone on the opposing team. We just like to poke a little fun. It's all in good fun.
Hey, this is the Blazer Basketball Network.
And we're going to be homers, so to speak.
We're the homebodies. Tommy Conley draws a foul, I believe, or no. I'm sorry, defensive foul that time on number 25, the lightning quick Eric Rivers, 5'9" junior from Chattanooga. So he's one of the few players that'll be back for the Pacers next year. And there's that crying towel we've been looking for. And Glass carries it on the court and hands it to number 52, Daryl Murray, who goes to the bench for the Pacers. And let's see if he's sitting near those orange boots.
I still have not managed to see the orange boots.
Well, Don Latson cans a free throw there. Don, 7 for 24 on the year coming into this game. He offsets that with so many other strong areas, but he is shooting very poorly from the free throw line, and he only gets 1 of 2 there.
This has turned out to be a rather high-scoring game.
Nice follow-up that time by John Ousley, and he's a freshman. And Latson having trouble. He's going to try to get rid of the ball. Conley with it, and Masheed nearly gets the steal.
Pacers staying with that full-court man-to-man, really being aggressive.
Masheed commits a blatant foul, but nothing called. Willie Walton muscles his way in, powers the ball up, and gets to 92-80. Blazers by 12 with 5 minutes, 2 seconds to go in the ball game. Blazers looking to go 14-9 on the year and 8-1 at home with a victory here, but more importantly, 7-5 in the GSC. And finally, a foul is called, and it's going to be called on number 44, John Ousley.
Leon should be careful. He was throwing a few elbows just then. He did back some people out of his way, though, so he could make an outlet pass.
Well, perhaps the elbows went the way of the home court advantage. But number 12 comes into the game, Willie Forbes, senior guard for UT Martin. And out of the game, Kenneth Shannon, the freshman. So the Pacers getting their veteran quick lineup in there to make one final run at what could be a Gulf South Conference berth. I think they know they need to win. Season winding down.
One thing that's surprising me, we have not seen Dale Parker in about, I'd say 8 minutes, and he come out smoking in the start of the beginning of the second half.
Well, Leon Jones misses a big free throw, and the Blazers not too hot from the charity stripe tonight. Masheed with the shot, and he gets the old, what do you call it, the old toilet ball shot there, with toilet bowl, or it just goes around the rim, or whatever. I forget what the street expression is.
That's a new one on me. I haven't heard the old toilet bowl shot. I'll remember that one. Put a mental note here. It's got it locked away safely in memory here.
Tommy Conley with the ball to Ben, to Walton, who is in a bit of a trouble, finds Latson to Ben. Conley looking for the shot. He hasn't shot too many from outside the last couple minutes. Latson inside, shot clock down to about 15, and a turnover. And the officials are not the most popular people here tonight. No doubt the most popular people here are probably President Bailey and his wife.
Probably are. And are they in the stands tonight?
Well, they usually are. Take a look around. I don't see them right now, to tell you the truth, Rick. They're generally here. Perhaps President Bailey is out of town. He's a big supporter of VSC athletics.
And that's good to see the president of the college being out supporting all the athletic events here at VSC.
You can always see him and his wife, their whole family here. It's good to see. They're good people. Well, Rivers gets another shot there. He's kind of been powering the Pacers here in the second half. Rivers on the year averaging about 10 points a game. He's over that tonight. Only 10-point lead now for the Blazers. It's 92-82. We're going to see both teams possibly crack the 100-point mark.
And the drummer in the Animal Band gets a chance at the basketball.
And a nice catch he made up there, didn't he? He really handled that ball well.
Definitely. Looks like he's had some experience with the round ball before.
Well, I think as part of their preparation for games, the VSC Pep Band does come out here and try to pass the ball around and get loosened up for these games so they can become more involved with the activities here in the complex. Tommy Conley for one.
And the Animal Band certainly has been a spark, especially in a sparse crowd like there is here tonight. They've really kept things going up-tempo, really helped keep the Blazers alive.
Conley gets them both. He's made his last 4 free throws in a row. Blazers by 12 big free throws that time for Tommy. I know the last time the Blazers played a home game here, Tommy missed a couple down the stretch, and he was very upset about it. And he said that he would get them the next time, and he has so far. There's a little over 3 minutes to go in the ball game. (94-84), Blazer 10-point lead. This is no time to go to the refrigerator and get yourself a snack. I think we're going to have a exciting finale stretch run here.
If the Blazers do not start hitting some free throws, we're definitely going to have a close game. The Blazers are hurting from the line right now.
And you have to figure the Pacers kind of know who to foul here. I'm sure they're aware that Don Latson has had a rough year at the line. And he gets a home court dribble in that time. You notice Don's not really even shooting with any confidence, really. He's
definitely, he's rushing himself.
And for the 3rd time tonight, he's only 1 of 2 from the line. Pacers with the ball. They're up by, I'm sorry, they're not up. They're down by 11.
He won't.
And they get a basket there, and they're only down by 9, and things are getting heated up here at home. The Blazers have blown some leads this year. Let's hope they don't do it here.
Beautiful slam by Willie Walton.
The follow-up slam, what do you give that, Rick? I'm going with a 9.3.
I'm going with a 10.
A 10.
The crowd was just up on their feet then.
Rivers gets him right back in it with a shot, almost a 3-pointer. And Don Latson gets a little too fancy and throws it into the stands, 97-88.
Coach James Downey upset by that pass. It was a good pass, I thought. I mean, maybe the Blazers should have held it up, but the pass was catchable for Terry Ben.
Well, a little dance down there, a 2-step perhaps.
Well, that's the place where the numbers for the Foxtrot and the Charleston were on the floor a while ago.
Blazers by 9. It's 97-88. Blazers going to go over that 100-point mark, something they haven't done too many times this year. I show them doing it 2 times this year, as a matter of fact. At least I would think they would go over the 100-point mark. They'd have to kind of work at it not to make it with 2:36 to go.
Definitely. And again, once again, the Blazers have gone with that 3-guard lineup. I've been very impressed by it tonight. got the running game going, and they haven't been beaten on the board, surprisingly, even with 3 guards in the game.
Well, it's hurt him at the free throw line a little bit, as Latson hasn't been able to can him a lot of free throws, but he's more than made up for it with his defense and his passing. Leon Jones, and he should get about 4 free throws for that foul. Foul on Owsley. That's his 3rd, and all 3 of them have been in the last few minutes. 2:18 to go. There's been a lot of scoring, but it hasn't, for some reason, it hasn't felt like a real fast-paced game. It's been a lot of free throws, a lot of fouls going on.
I think it's the lack of a crowd, or the excitement level has not been there all the time. There's been some really high points, but again, it's been kind of a lull in the action most of the time.
Well, the Blazers have definitely played exciting ball all year, as have the Lady Blazers. They haven't really got the type of support they deserve, although the people who do come out always enjoy it and always come back. We hope they play another game here that you will see more of it.
And I'll let you comment on that, Keith.
I give that a 10. I'm going to give Don Latson the 10. Did you see that pass?
That was a beautiful pass, unselfish. Don really set up the crowd for a beautiful dunk then, and Leon Jones just said, in your face.
Well, I'd like to see that about 3 times. Don Latson just gets the long pass and just nonchalantly says, here, you take it, okay? And Leon just with the slammer, jammer, power dunk, the thunder dunk. And that put the Blazers at the 100-point level to make it even more dramatic. 100 to 88. That 100 looks good up on. Those triple digits look good, don't they, Rick?
Very good. I love to see a high-scoring game. Defense is such a great part of the game, and it's said by most coaches that the teams that play the best defense win, but still, for the sake of the crowds and the announcers and everyone else, they love the offense.
Well, you've heard of the old straw that hurt that poor Camel's back. Well, that kind of did it to the Pacers. That slammer put them away.
That sure did, and that straw, we don't know who was commenting on that straw originally, who said it first, but Keith Murphy said it here on VSC-TV.
Well, I think we have a lane violation. Number 11 was just tippy-toeing in, and Don Latson having his problems from the free throw line. He only gets 1 of 2 there.
But he gets an extra one because of the lane violation.
Let's see if he gets it.
He takes advantage.
2 of 3, so Don moving up his percentage a little bit. He's having a rough year from the line. But he's getting the important ones. Oh, looked like a clean steal there. He perhaps got his wrist.
Well, he moved up his percentage then because statistically that goes 2 for 2. The miss was negated as a statistic.
102 to 88. Blazers in an offensive showing. About 22 points over their scoring yearly average. And the Pacers, just the look on their face, like 43, the All-American glass, you can kind of see that they feel that their season went out the front door tonight as far as making the tournament playoffs.
Definitely. 7 losses is too many to make it into the tournament.
At least it is now. Perhaps if they had perfect from here out, something could be worked out. But I doubt it. The Blazers needed to win tonight, and by golly, they're going to get it, aren't they?
Well, there's...
And we got a tech, I believe. We sure do, and that's going to certainly put them under there. Tom Hancock, the coach, with the technical.
And Masheed is crying again.
Well, Terry Ben is going to shoot his foul shots, which are 1 and 1. We'll get quiet, let Terry have silence. And it helped him, Rick. He sunk him. Sunk him? I don't know. Sunk them, made them. Let's
say made. We don't want to offend any of the teachers in the English department here at VSC.
Yeah, they've done a good job, but you know, listening to me, you wouldn't know that I've taken 3 English classes.
Listening to both of us.
Well, Tommy will shoot the technicals. He's getting his points way up there now. He's probably in the mid-20s.
Tommy may be up near the 30-point mark now. I wouldn't bet the house on it, but...
And the thing about that is it's not even our house, Rick. It's the complex. It's kind of a community thing. And for you to go and bet it and, you know, and then have him say only have 29 points or so, you know, it would be a shame to lose this beautiful facility.
I'm sure President Bailey and Coach Dominy and everyone else would be upset with me, don't you?
Well, Willie Walton on the pass from Jones missed it there. And the Pacers travel again, no call made. And Masheed shoots the air ball and cries about it. And that's a big surprise.
Very surprising. Masheed seems to be cool and collected most of the time, doesn't he?
Oh, fun here at the complex. The Blazers by 14, 104-90. Well, the Pacers just have that look on their face as, you know, let's just get to the showers, get on the bus, and let's get out of Valdosta with this mark in the L column. They just kind of want to get it over with it. But 14 points with a three-pointer would not be such a deficit if they had a good three-point shooter, but if they have one, we haven't seen him.
They may be saving him till the last minute. But I think they need to go ahead and bring him out of hiding.
Well, it could be the guy in the orange boots and the orange jacket.
Probably. I bet he has a pair of orange Converse, too.
Ah, yes, no doubt.
And while we have the chance, Keith, I want to know, and I know the rest of the people out there watching VSC want to know, when is the Miss VSC pageant going to be aired on VSC-TV?
Oh, funny you should ask, Rick. I happen to have it right here. Coming up Monday, February 24th. That's this Monday at 6:30 p.m. And it was a good pageant this year. You'll want to tune into that. This Wednesday, Blazer basketball again versus Troy State, recorded February 17th. That's this Wednesday on VSC-TV. And you can catch it beginning at 6:30, and that game will last till 8. So be sure to follow the Blazers on VSC-TV. Three-pointer by Glass. He has a nice outside touch for a big man. And I believe we're going to have another timeout here. Yes, we are. The Blazers by 11, 104 to wait. We're going to keep playing here. I was led to believe there we had a timeout coming, but apparently not.
I don't know. Their coach had a few words for the officials.
Oh, that's a big surprise. 104-93, and nice hustle that time by Kenneth Shannon, sacrificing his career there for a slap out of bounds.
Well, I don't know about you, Keith, but I'm casting my vote for the Conference Congeniality Award to University of Tennessee Martin. Sarcastically, I am.
Well, I'll tell you that one thing I have been proud of the Blazers all year. They are a class bunch of young men. They certainly are. They don't draw technicals. They don't complain. They just play hard basketball. UT Martin gets a big steal there. They tried for the timeout and couldn't get it. Blazers only up by 9, and that is a ridiculous foul by Glass.
Should be a 2-shot foul.
Should be about a 6-shot foul. He just rang him around the neck. As you said, a lot of sportsmanship being displayed by UT Martin. There's no need to grab somebody around the head. He could have slapped his wrist or something. Crowd didn't like it.
And Coach Hancock, once again, surprisingly has a few things to say to the officials.
I don't know. He's been such a quiet guy all night. I'm kind of shocked to see him up. 104-95, and they put the wrong man on the line. Conley for 2. There's 1. And he may be edging close to that 30-point mark, but I certainly wouldn't bet the house on it, you know.
Especially not our house.
Yes. It sounds fresh, doesn't it? 106-95, Blazers by 11. There's about 30 seconds to go in the ball game. Don't go anywhere. UT Martin has been practicing their 10-point shot all week, but that wasn't it. Blazers with the rebound, and it's coffee and donuts time in Valdosta. The Blazers stay in the Gulf South Conference race. Nice pass. Ben on the assist to Jones. 10, 9, the clock winding down. Blazers 108. Pacers 95. They take a final shot, don't get it to go. Ball's going to be tipped out of bounds. Glass takes one final shot, and the Blazers get a big victory tonight. They're going to go to, what are they going to go to? 14-9 on the year. They're going to go to 7-5 in the Gulf South Conference. Big victory tonight, Rick.
Definitely was. The Blazers played excellent basketball tonight, Keith.
Well, the Blazers come away with a 108-95 victory. For Rick Strickland, I'm Keith Murphy telling you to tune into Blazer basketball next Wednesday to watch the Blazers take on Troy State beginning at 6:30 p.m. Well, welcome to the Blazer postgame show. We're here with Mike Patrick, the longtime manager student manager of the VSC Blazers. Mike, a big victory for the Blazers tonight. They had to have it to stay in that Gulf South Conference race.
That's right, Keith. That was a real big win for us tonight. That puts us 7-5 on the season, and got 4 more big ones to go.
Okay, how long have you been? How long have you been in the trail? Has it been 4 years, I believe, or is it more than that?
Oh, about 4 or 5.
4 or 5. You're not counting because you don't want to say how long you've been in school. Is that it?
That's true, Keith. That's right.
Rick, you have a question for Mike. He's kind of the know everything for the Blazer outfit here. He can answer anything.
Yes, Mike. A lot of people don't know what the manager does for the Blazers. What all your duties encompass?
Okay. Well, my main duties are to have all the uniforms and everything ready for the games. I have before the game, a lot of stuff to do behind the scenes, like having the balls on the court, towels ready for both teams. You just name it, I do it.
Just name it. You get the snacks ready and all that?
Yeah, I do it all.
Well, Mike, Rick about almost through the game there decided to nominate Tennessee Martin for the Congeniality Award. Kind of a lot of crying going on out there tonight. What was Larry Masheed so upset about? Mike Masheed, rather.
That ever since I've been here, that team's always been that way. They've always been like a crybaby team, but I don't know. He was recruited by this school, and he's a good player, but he showed his rear tonight, I would say.
Well, what do the Blazers have to do to get in that postseason tournament now?
Our main thing is you look at one game at a time and win our next game against Jacksonville State. That's going to be a big one. We lost to them over there in overtime, the first conference game of the year, and after that we got a big game against Troy, which will be the final regular season game. Hopefully not the final game at home this year.
Rick, you got another question for Mike?
Yes. No, never mind.
The old never mind there from Rick Strickland. Mike, how much of a toll does it take the teams on the road here in the Gulf South Conference? It seems like the home court advantage is just a tremendous one.
That's true. Everywhere you go on the road it's not too friendly surroundings. You get treated, you get called names. I mean, even I get called names, especially at Jacksonville State. It's pretty rough. Mississippi College has got a lot of baseball players sit right behind the bench, and it's tough. Anytime you win on the road, it's just a big win in this conference.
Well, Mike, thanks for coming by here. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Keith.
For Rick Strickland, Mike Patrick, and Keith Murphy, we're saying so long from the PE Complex.